Hi, and welcome to another episode, actually episode 4 of
Episode 5.
Episode 5 of Dorks and Forks. Who would have thought we had made it this far?
We made it to 5 episodes.
5 months. You know, the haters, the
whole
haters.
hand. That's right.
Well, anyway, I'm Brian Wild, host and creator of dorksandforks.com. Across from me, as usual, is Dan Sanchez.
Hello.
Or should I call you the Reverend Dan Sanchez?
That's true.
Or should I call you the Sultan of Twat?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, man. Well, I'm sorry, but I thought twatting was actually when you
It's a
tweet.
Twitter term.
It's a Twitter term.
right?
So, like, when you tweet.
The Sultan of Twat. I'm a big tweeter.
What?
I'm a big tweeter. Why don't you mute your computer, numbnuts?
Oh, come on. It's just a bing.
Jesus. What
So-
are we, amateurs?
Well, you know what's
It's the
funny?
5th show?
No, it's that damn Yosemite.
Yosemite.
Yeah,
The Yosemite
it's awful.
operating system.
So anyway, here we are in episode 5, our holiday edition. Is our ugly sweater party that we have going on
We're
right now.
both wearing plaid.
Touche.
Touche.
Well played. So Dan, what's been going on past month? A lot has happened past month.
Oh, man.
On the geek front. So we've got the mid-season break of Walking Dead.
That's right.
There have been some killer trailers that have come out.
Literally.
Like maybe 3 or 4 new
About
trailers.
3 or 4 new trailers since we've recorded last that kind of hit the airwaves and have taken the internets by storm.
Yeah, like one kind of controversial too. I mean, the new Star Wars trailer with the
Force Awakens.
Excalibur lightsaber.
Yeah, people have been like getting all over that lightsaber. So within let's actually take a peek at the trailer real quick first, and then
Because
talk.
I've got a rant about some Walking Dead.
That's fine, and then we'll do a Walking Dead rant. All right, so let's look at the Star Wars The Force Awakens trailer, and then we'll go from there. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is.
Oh, good movie
Star
time.
Wars Episode, what is that? 7. The Force Awakens.
Oh my God, my nipples are hard right now.
Wow.
Dude, J.J. Abrams killing it.
I mean, he's taken over now, of course, the Star Trek franchise.
Star Trek franchise.
Now during the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah.
And, leading to everything else he's done prior to that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just-
he is the reincarnation of Spielberg.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you looked at
if Spielberg and
and
Lucas and everybody Zemeckis and all those guys from the early 80s that really transformed the sci-fi, movie experience, if they all had a kid, and technically, him being raised on all these things like we all were.
Sure. No, even though he even said on the Daily Show that he had never watched Star Trek. He wasn't into Star Trek.
Not one episode.
No.
Man, he did such an amazing
Google that.
job with those first reincarnations of
What I love most about that is that it's like the first scene, the first character you see in there, it's like boom, black guy.
Black guy.
Not just Lando Calrissian anymore. All right, Star
There's
Star
more people
Wars
in the
is for
universe.
everyone now.
No, and it's rumored that guy is one of the main heroes of the
cool.
of the next 3 movies. Why he's in a stormtrooper uniform is he pulling a Luke and Han? Is he on a rescue mission?
Sure.
Because we know from the prequels that all the stormtroopers are clones. And we're this many years later, and blah 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 blah. So what's the deal there?
Yeah.
And then we're also super excited, and people have been back and forth on the internet about the hilt on the lightsaber. Is it scientifically possible
for a laser to stop?
Right. Could somebody with another lightsaber come down on that hilt and slice it in half and blah, blah, blah? Stephen Colbert on his show,
I saw that.
on the Colbert Show has actually combated this and has a theory about what it's all about. So check that out. We'll put the link on our page here.
So I love it. A lot of people don't
I'm
like
excited.
it, but I love fantasy in my sci-fi.
No, people are freaking out like, oh, what's R2-D2's head doing on a soccer ball? This, that, and the other thing. Like, what's going on?
Hey man, haters gonna hate.
Haters
gonna hate.
As long as Jar Jar Binks is not in this movie, we'll be okay.
Misa want another sip of beer.
So also on the Dork trailer front, a lot of other things have happened. Of course, the Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it yet, we'll put a link on the site. We're not going to go ahead and watch that one now.
Wait, before we go into that, I saw some clips online of people kind of photoshopping that scene of whatever Darth character or whatever the character
may
is.
or may not be.
Yeah, that has that Excalibur style lightsaber.
Sure.
It was really cool. Like one was a like a Swiss Army knife coming out of it, and it was all the attachments.
That's funny.
And another one was like the Jewish candle around
Sure,
Hanukkah.
a menorah.
A menorah.
Yeah.
So I'm not Jewish. So
Wait,
I'm not
But you're circumcised.
Well, yeah. Yeah, wait.
I know. Anyway, so keep going.
So it's cool. I kind of like the change up in a lightsaber.
No, it's fun. I mean,
good.
of course, people were all up in arms about when Darth Maul had the double-ended lightsaber, if you will.
Sure.
So yeah, it's look, people are change happens. People,
Yeah, get
deal
over
with it.
I mean, it's bad enough Abrams is directing it. You know what I mean? I mean,
We had this
if you want to freak
conversation-
out about something, freak out that Disney bought it.
Right.
Don't hate.
Right, Disney
you know
now
what I mean?
owns Marvel and Star Wars franchise, and
Which
all
is
that
kind
other
of cool.
stuff.
I mean, no, it's not cool, but it's kind of cool because since I have 2 young kids and you have a child yourself, now it's all in one thing. I mean, they're able to target
The
their
Muppets,
audience.
they also own, yeah.
You watch Disney Junior, you watch Disney Channel, any of those things. Now everything's Marvel, everything's Star Wars, everything's
Muppets,
Disney.
Everything's Disney. Yeah.
It's all, and it's down through a pipeline, through one channel, and into your child's subconscious, and now it's in our subconscious.
It was ours. It was there for us already. So
Yeah.
why the hell not?
Dude.
ABC
who
owns them
cares?
all. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, just get-
The other big thing that has come out over the past couple days, 2 trailers, is of course the new Jurassic World.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that movie. Dan,
Really, I'm
saying
super
Dan Chaz.
excited.
Look,
2 and 3 were so bad,
I don't even.
so bad,
Were they? I think I saw 2, probably not 3
so
though.
bad. I couldn't get into it.
So like Chris Pratt, yeah, that's great for Chris Pratt, right? Because
Awesome for
he's
him.
got a killer career going on right now. I think it's going to be a visual spectacle to see
Just like
in
the
3D
original.
IMAX.
Sure.
I think it'll be great.
I don't disagree with you.
That being said,
You're worried. You're concerned
So
about
now-
the storyline. You're
so
concerned
no.
about
Yeah, just the kind of a contrived nature. Speaking of contrived, we'll
It's all
talk about
contrived,
Walking
Brian.
Dead. We'll talk about Walking Dead later, but like, on Netflix, you ever watch that Blackfin movie that
I know
CNN
which
put
one you're
out
talking
about
Yeah, about the killer
the
whales.
yeah? So
and
so
it's a
you've got this.
Oscar nominee, if not winner.
So yeah, you've got these killer whales
whales.
that are
Shamus.
captive, and they're killing their trainers. And
Wouldn't you?
and not only are they killing them, they're toying with them before they kill them.
Well, they've been toyed with for so long.
So then you've got this movie, and then you've got this what dinosaur is that?
Allosaurus, I think.
An
Is that what that
Allosaurus
is?
coming
No.
out of this. Whatever, you got this big
what is
ass.
It? Was it Missy? What do you think it is?
Megalodon shark.
A megalodon
Oh, that's
shark.
missing. Yeah. So a what?
Chris Gordon has other things to say. Go ahead, chime in.
No, it's not a megalodon. It's closer than an Allosaurus.
Right.
I don't know the name of that particular.
We can
Yeah.
figure it out.
Those
Google-
voices you
Google
hear
that
is
stuff.
is
These
Chris
are
Gordon.
our guests, our
Yeah,
third chair
Gordon.
musical guest, respectively Missy Grankowitz and, of course, the illustrious Chris Gordon.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll get to them later. So let me go
Blah,
back
blah,
on.
blah.
So you've got this dinosaur shooting out of the water to eat a shark.
It was a killer shark. It was like a Jaws type.
It was a massive
Yeah.
shark, right? And all these people are sitting around like, oh my
in
goodness. And they're
SeaWorld.
like Splash Zone, like in SeaWorld. Horse shit. Because what trainers are training
that?
to do that?
I don't think they're. I mean,
They
look,
just haven't kept it.
Listen.
No. I'm
with
sorry.
Any,
it's
with
a bit
any
forced.
show, television
forced.
show, book, the whole 9 yards, willing suspension of disbelief.
You know what would have made that
You
movie?
have to decide to go there for
sure.
yourself
Suspension
and
of
let it be
disbelief.
believable.
Okay, yeah. You know who would have made that movie better? J.J. Abrams. But
I don't even know who
I'm
made.
just
I don't
kidding.
even know who made.
Yeah,
this
who
Jurassic
directed
Park. I have
that?
no idea.
It's not Spielberg.
Google it, people. Get back to us. Find
Yeah,
us on
let us
Twitter at
know.
Dorks and Forks and let us know.
So okay, moving on.
So moving on. So today, in real time, where we are,
Mm-hmm.
is December 4th, 2014. And today, on December 4th, 2014, the Terminator Genesis
What?
trailer has been released earlier today. It's the new Terminator movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
He's in it.
No,
He's
in
it.
like a
Reprising
cameo
as
role.
Missy, yeah. I mean, are you surprised? Are you excited about that, Missy?
Well, Linda Hamilton was my babysitter when I was growing up.
Shut up.
No, she wasn't.
Did she have those arms, those guns on?
I was like 4, but
So then, yes, from lifting your ass up.
Yeah, that was.
She wasn't.
Yeah, she really was.
How? But was she that hard up?
Was she that struggling for money that she? Well, I mean, the age
I mean-
difference isn't that
She
far
was-
off between the two of you.
I was about to say she went to my church when I was a little kid.
Oh, she was a
in
kid.
Salisbury, Maryland.
She was a
Yeah,
kid. You were
she was
both
a
kids.
kid.
Salisbury, Maryland.
I was like 3 or 4 or 5, whatever, and she
Oh.
was a
6,
young
7, 8.
preteen. Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, that's fun.
Seriously.
yeah,
It's a true story.
yeah. It was before her father died and before she moved to California.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
She was your babysitter.
Yes.
How about that?
Very cool.
Well, she's not in this movie.
No.
unfortunately.
Well,
But
good.
Amelie
Yeah,
is
because what was the last movie she was in? Yeah, so.
Terminator.
But you got.
It was that TV show, wasn't it?
Yeah, she
I was
was in
gonna
a
say-
She was in that TV show, Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, the Beauty
Wow,
and the
man,
Beast
dude,
show
that's
with
like-
Ron
I think she might have
Perlman.
done
That's
it.
right.
Is that
It's not maybe years
93 we're talking
If
about
not,
now? 93, 90.
Yeah,
Something
it was
like
93, 93, 94.
And now there's a new
Yeah,
Beauty
Ron
and the Beast
Perlman.
that's
Yep.
on, or was on. I don't know if it's still
No, it
on.
was, yeah, it was,
WB, CW type show.
Something.
So here's the deal with the new Terminator movie. It's after the last one, which is good. That's always nice when they're chronological.
Yeah. But yeah.
So what happens is this is like an alternate history
Oh.
of what we know.
Oh, man, do I care about Terminator anymore?
And, well, you're going to care because I'm about to tell you something you're going to freak out about.
No.
Our favorite doctor is in the movie, Matt Smith.
I was going to say
in-
David Tennant.
David Tennant. Well, yes. David Tennant is so close to my
Wait,
heart.
if you're a girl, it's David
Doctor
Tennant.
Who.
Right? Okay. Matt Smith is in it.
So for the popular vote, it's Matt Smith.
Okay.
But he's in this movie.
Yeah.
And he plays one of the renegades, rebellion type people.
What?
With
Okay.
John Connor.
Well, that just sold
the
20
whole nine
million
yards.
tickets.
Right, done. Sold.
Sold.
Plus Arnold. Plus, what's his balls from the last movie who was in that horrible Clash and Wrath of the Titans movies?
Yeah, those weren't
Sam
bad.
Worthington.
Yeah, I mean they were
They were
potable.
They were palatable. So let's take a peek at Terminator.
All right, here we go.
Genesis.
Here we go. Yeah, I don't know if I care.
You don't know if you care? I'm
don't.
excited. I'm excited because here's the thing. It's like it harkens back to the original movie.
Okay.
You see
Young
young
Arnold.
Schwarzenegger.
You see old
And you see
gray-haired
old-
suddenly.
so the premise of the movie is so the original movie happened. All the movies since then happened, and the machines catch wise. So they say, "All right, f that. We sent this one Terminator back to 1980, blah blah blah, to kill Sarah Connor. Let's go back earlier than that." And the rebellion said, "F that. Let's go back earlier than that." So, like, within the context of this particular one, like the Schwarzenegger Terminator, they sent a model way back earlier to raise Sarah Connor before this other Terminator comes and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
comedy ensues.
Did Moffat write that?
Yeah, right? It's very, very
Moffat-
convoluted.
Moffat must have wrote
Your
it.
typical, it's not James Cameron, who, of course, did the original.
Yeah.
But
And
we
I
do
like-
see another T-2000, which is exciting to me.
Oh, cool.
That liquid Terminator, that liquid metal Terminator.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was so mind-blowing when that happened back in the 90s.
Oh man, but to see it again now, and that's what's great about it. That's what has me excited about it, is that they're harkening back to the old school, bringing it back again. Because the one with Claire Danes, that one was just
Oh man.
so
Well,
bad.
speaking of like
Rise of the
girls you
Machines.
don't care about, the girl in this, it's like, is that Jennifer Lawrence?
Well,
Is that-
we were saying that before. Is that is she like Michelle Rodriguez and Jennifer Lawrence had a kid?
Yeah, it's like, hey, is that? At a glance, you're like Jennifer Lawrence,
Nope.
and then Missy said,
That's the Jennifer Lawrence you can get.
"Yeah,
That's the Jennifer. Well, I think you can get the regular Jennifer Lawrence. I think you can get her. So that's where we are on the trailer front. Now on another nerd scale of things, also that has come out today, YouTube, which of course we are on. Please subscribe to our
hey,
YouTube
we are
channel.
on YouTube."
Has had in the past a limit on how many views a video can have.
What?
And the limit was 1 billion views, give or take.
So it would just cap you.
It would cap you at 1 billion. Well, one of the best and worst videos of all time has surpassed that, and because of that, they have now changed the quota.
Was it the history of dance or something?
No, it is the Gangnam Style.
Past 1 billion
Past,
views.
it is now at 2,147,483,647 views.
Yes, I'm sorry. My daughter had something to do with that.
I'm sure lots of young children have something to do with that. So they were going to the 32-bit integer with that, and now they've doubled that to accommodate for any other. This is the only first video that has ever surpassed 1 billion. So now they are going to the 64-bit integer at, are you ready? Let me see if I can do this. 9 quintillion, 223 quadrillion, 372 trillion, 36 billion, 854,775,808 views.
Even I
I love how they put that
many
8 on the
times.
end. Like,
Yeah.
it can't
It makes
be
a difference.
Guys, I think 7. No. One more.
Eight. Let's do
make it
eight.
Make it 8.
So
Is
that is now
that
the
even
limit.
possible?
Apparently, it is. It is. If you can get to 2
You know,
billion,
yeah, I know some of Chris
147
Gordon's
million.
instructional guitar videos were pretty close to that.
Yeah.
Right.
5.
Yeah.
He's like, this is how I figured out that riff of that Yngwie.
Yeah, hold on, let me put my beer down.
Oh, it's very similar to what we do here.
Well, the very first company that I signed with to do instructional videos for was a company out of Colorado. The guy was an amazing guy, and but he had me do hour-long videos that he would later edit himself and release. So I sent the first video off to him, and I always have a tendency to indulge while
You?
Oh yes.
Never.
So I get a call from him, and he said, "Chris, this video is awesome. I love it." He says, "But I'm just curious. Towards the end of the video, you're slurring. Is that the camera?
It's like our podcast.
Yes.
Or is that you?" And I said, "No, it's me. You know,
It happens. But before we get to that, let's talk about one more nerdy
Wait,
thing.
I gotta go off about Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk. I want to do Walking Dead and
Oh, yeah.
Doctor Who real
All right,
quick.
yeah,
So
let's
let's
do
do
it.
some Walking Dead. Brian Wild, give us the Walking Dead update.
So,
Chrissy, shut up.
So we're at our mid-season break for Walking Dead, right? So I feel, Chris, do you watch Walking Dead
it's a religion."
as a religion? Fine, good. Somebody have to talk about. So it's almost like Walking Dead is a guilty pleasure almost, because it's like you're like, you know, that first season you're like, oh man, this is great, and then they renew it, and then it's like season 2 you're like, oh, all right, and then season 3 you're like looking for that dead girl in a barn, you know, and come to find out she's but it takes you freaking 14 episodes to get to that, and you're like, let's just move on, and then on the
little masturbatory is what you're
cinematography,
saying.
yeah, well, no, I wouldn't say it was self-masturbatory for those guys.
Okay.
It was just, I feel like they're underestimating their audience, you know, and yeah, and they kind of got the gist of it too, because like this past season, or even they kind of started hinting to last season, cinematography started getting better. You know, the lighting direction started getting better. The scenes weren't so static. I mean, they really started kind of trying to make it more cinematic than it was, because I felt like it was just so base, like there wasn't anything going on,
Right.
and there was no zombies, you know, and it was like these prison
Look,
cells
that
look
makeup
like.
isn't cheap. Okay.
Yeah, but
You have to cut
this is the most
costs
popular
somewhere.
show
You know it's a
on
zombie
television.
show.
It's ridiculous
Do
how
you have to
popular it
show
is.
You
the
know,
zombie?
yeah, no, it's absurd how much money they're making
Oh
from
my
this
god,
show.
it's ridiculous.
And it's like AMC's most popular show ever. So they've got money. What are they doing with it? So I feel like these past season and a half, they've been reinvesting. But it's almost not. So I'm trying to be critical and not negative in this review. All right, and that's tough for me because
There's a first.
It's just so easy just to be negative. And so I'm really, you know, I was in my car today and I'm really trying to like wrap my brain around being just critical and not negative. Right. And it's really hard. So anyway, spoilers. If anyone's not current, you could turn us off now, but no, don't turn
us off. Just listen. Give us about 5 more minutes into
So-
the timeline, and then jump in there.
Yeah, so Beth's character was killed off at the end of this mid-season break. And she was like the only light, you know, they were talking about in Talking Dead. Yeah, okay, here we go. I'm not Chris Hardwick, so I could say whatever the hell I feel like saying about Walking Dead.
Right.
There. Okay,
The
so
Nerdist.
yeah, well, Talking Dead.
Talking Dead.
You know, so anyway, they're like, oh, you know, and like Keel and Peele dude was on there, and they're like, oh my God, Beth died. Who cared? And not only was it who cares about this girl who's positive in the light of things and, you know, where they kill her off, but how forced was that scene? And not only that, but how out of character was that for Beth to do? You know what I mean? Because it's like, she's the nice girl, you know, she's been having these breakthroughs of characters, you know, with her and Daryl, you know, they had that little blonde, then she was abducted by the people in the hospital and the cops, and then the cop was beating her up, trying to say, hey, you're my, you know, my little slave person, and right, but then they kind of bonded at the end, and it was kind of like, hey, you're getting to know this person, and for a girl who's just so gentle, to sit there and slip like a pair of scissors in her cast, and then stab a bulletproof vest. I mean, this is what gets me. She's a cop wearing guns are drawn. Okay, they've made the swap. You're in this high intensity kind of thing, and she just stabs a cop in the bulletproof vest while her gun's drawn, and then she blows their brains out.
Right. Which was the pulling of the trigger or the squeezing of the trigger was obviously a reaction. It wasn't intentional. But no, I think it's sloppy writing.
Yeah, I felt like.
I think it's sloppy writing.
Now, if she walked up to her and slapped her in the face like she got slapped so many times,
Right.
and then they went, okay,
Right.
let's just walk away.
Just keep moving.
None of that had to happen. And let's say you're a police officer and you're in this bulletproof vest, and some little 80-pound girl is like, with a pair of like 1-inch scissors. I mean, they're like the cut, like mesh.
Maybe. But I mean,
And she goes like this. She's like, and you're like,
what?
what?
But again,
That's what you'd say. You'd be like, why?
but that brings us back to
But
earlier,
she's like,
willing suspension of
blows her brains out.
disbelief.
No, it's just
Suspension of what?
bad writing on Robert
No,
Kirkman.
I'm just wondering if they're sitting in the room and they're like, we gotta
Hey, we
stretch
gotta-
this out.
we gotta write her off.
Yeah.
And
But-
it's
Sure.
and I mean I agree. I agree with you. I mean I was shocked when I saw the scene. I was like, oh, really? And
Well, that's what they were going for, shock value.
yeah, and I think they were just trying to sever that whole inclusion of that.
Yeah.
I think what blows me away is they're still in Georgia.
Yeah,
Come on, guys.
keep moving.
I mean,
Please.
I know it's kind of rough, but you keep seeing all these vehicles on the side of the road. Look, believe me, I'm sorry if it was me.
I'm out.
I'd be long
I'm
gone.
moving.
Yeah. I mean, because
staying
they're
moving.
still in Georgia in a church, half of them. But the other ones in Atlanta. Well, no, because then they were in
Atlanta is
Atlanta.
Georgia.
No, but
Still
then
Georgia,
didn't.
period.
And they're trying to get to Washington, and
Yeah, I feel like, and then Atlanta was so far away. I don't know. Come on, Kirkman.
Depending on where you are
You know
in
what I
Georgia,
mean?
yeah, it's a
I
stretch.
spent this last summer traipsing across this country, and yeah, I didn't have to deal with zombies.
Or did you?
Well, kind of, but I certainly made better time than this.
Sure,
How many
sure.
seasons in are we that are still in Georgia?
Georgia. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess the tax breaks.
I shouldn't complain because I'm actually trying to audition, not as a zombie. I want to be a character.
Yeah, you'd be great. You have a
I'll be
great look
coming
for
down
that
there.
show.
I'll just be like, hey man,
Yo, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's right.
You mind if I play a sweet riff on my guitar?
I'm gonna lull all these zombies asleep. I'm gonna be the Pied Piper of
I'm
Zombieland.
I'm gonna walk around this town of zombies. I'm just gonna play them tunes.
It's
That
hot yesterday.
Banjo.
It's hot today. Probably be hot tomorrow.
zombie's got a nice mouth. That's
Where's Carl?
Anyway, so yeah, no. Tell us what you think about Walking Dead again.
Now I have my audition
Tweet
tape
us.
all set up, ready to go. That's awesome.
And tell us what could have happened.
Tell us what could have happened. Tell us what
You
you,
know-
think. Tweet us, Facebook us, at Dorks and Forks. So let's also talk about.
Yeah, one more thing. We'll
dorky
geek
thing.
out because we're like way over time.
It's all right, we'll
and then
edit
we'll get to our guests.
So for all the nerds out there like me and Brian, of course, season 8 of Doctor Who just wrapped up,
Yeah, snooze fest.
and Missy has a microphone in her mouth.
She could fit it all in there.
What else is new?
I just want to know how deep she could go with it.
Stop it! You just told me earlier to reel it back, and now you're going to tell her this? Come on!
I mean, it was already in there.
Good lord. That's what she said. Anywho,
Just a tip, baby. Just a tip.
Yeah.
tip.
Yeah, she's like, I'll just put the tip in. No, put the whole thing in.
with your hand. Use your hand too.
right.
So anyway, so season 8 of Doctor Who just wrapped.
Yeah.
This was our first season, of course, with the 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi.
Snooze fest.
Really, you didn't like it?
And I wanted to.
Well, here's my thing. I watched it twice now.
Yeah.
Officially twice. Maybe, I tried to watch it.
Clara should have
Okay.
went with Matt Smith.
So there's 3 things I want to talk about. One of which is, of course, Peter and his doctorship
He
in this
always
season.
wants to talk about.
I
So
love
always
Peter
wanna talk about
Capaldi.
the Peter. 2, I also want to talk about Clara because they're.
I don't like Clara.
Well, wait. So I'm gonna make you upset right now, and we'll talk about the third thing in a second. Let's just go ahead with this. Clara, 90% chance she's not leaving after the Christmas special.
No, she's
she's
done.
staying on for one more season.
No, her and Moffat.
True story. Nope. True story.
No.
Yes,
No.
I'm telling you right now. Wait, Brian, what do I do all day? What am I in front of all day?
Your computer.
So,
But usually your penis is in your hand.
well, duh. I'm very adept at typing with my left hand. Very adept.
Yeah.
He's typing with his penis.
So you should see what that thing
He's
can do.
slapping the space bar.
So, but good lord. So yeah, of course, my business partner's in the corner saying, "Yep, I watch him at his desk every day." So Clara might stick around.
Videotaping. He's like,
Clara's going to stick around for one more season, is what she's saying.
Don't.
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, because ultimately, then it's the end of Capaldi. Because
No, I disagree. Because I think now, so this whole season has been about her accepting him and us accepting him. She was just like every companion is.
still
in
don't
every Doctor Who
accept her.
is the audience's portal into the show. So now, like that, she's accepted him, and that we've officially accepted him, and everything else is okay. She wants to now explore the options of them continuing their adventures together.
she needs to go away. Because I love Capaldi.
I like looking at her personally.
But she's probably the least popular companion.
She's going to be, as of if she finishes out this season,
Which she should.
She will be the longest running companion, episode wise, not year wise, not length of time, but per episode, she will be the longest running companion.
Look, let's just move on. Let's get this show going.
So
all right?
so there's one more thing I want to talk about. I'm sorry, real quick.
We're 43 minutes into the show.
Fine, we'll cut it.
We can always go back in time.
We can go back, fix it, get in the TARDIS. So it was Capaldi's doctor. We both like that's agreed upon. Clara, should she go? Shouldn't she go?
Yes, she should go.
Okay. And the last thing is the return of the master, the mistress.
Yeah.
She's coming back.
Okay.
Okay, so when we come back, we're going to get in touch with Missy Grankowitz and Chris Gordon.
Yes.
And get it down to business
What
here.
our show is actually about.
Actually, I want to touch Missy right now.
Oh, you're not the only one. Don't tell her husband.
Won't be the first.
I want to get in touch.
All right, we'll be
can't
right back.
stop touching
Dorksandforks.com.
So you want to
Yes.
you want to have a love child?
Why not?
Yeah, I think we should. I think it would be hot.
It would be adorable.
It would be.
That
It would be.
baby-
Oh, the
And
baby
think
would
of
be.
the-
No,
hot.
that baby would have the best rock star hair in the
Seriously?
world.
It really, really
She
would.
has so much volume to hers, and
Yeah.
you have great length.
I got
Yeah.
length but no volume. She's got volume. Yeah, let's
That's what
do
she
this
said.
thing.
See, I've got length but no
We'll
girth.
be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
And that was Dorks and Forks. We're off the air.
Hey, welcome back. This is dorksandforks.com. We are in our 5th podcast right now in studio with some great guests, my beautiful daughter, and Chris Gordon, and Missy. We've been saying it. I'm not even going to try it. Dan, Missy
Grankowitz.
Missy Grankowitz.
Missy
Spelled Grankowitz.
Yeah,
Can
very
I
cool.
buy a vowel, please?
There's 3 vowels in your last.
I
4
know.
vowels.
There's
in your last name.
GRYNKIEWICZ. It's
Exactly.
exhausting. I need a nap every time I have to spay.
Very cool.
Spay it. You knew
I
that?
meant to say.
Is
Well, I
this
didn't know
Price
whether
is
to
Right?
say
Bob Barker?
spell or spay. Can we edit?
Hey, she's
that
been here
part
drinking
out?
the whole time.
If we can just edit out the part where I couldn't say spay, that would be awesome.
And of course, to the left of me. Hey, Dan, let me ask you something.
Hey, Brian.
When you get a head of lettuce,
When I get head,
when you get a head
Of
of lettuce, and you take a knife and you cut into it, what do you call it?
splitting.
When you kind of make thin slices of lettuce.
Dice.
I'm
No,
chiffoning.
you kind of take a knife
Chiffonade.
and
A
you
ribbon.
and you take it and you. Okay, what was
Circumcise.
you circumcise the lettuce? What?
Bris? Is it a bris? I'll
not
take
a bris.
bris for 5,000, please,
Okay,
Alex.
who was? Thank you. And who was
Is it a jackal? A
the
jackal?
main bad
Jackal?
guy
Jackal.
in the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie?
Shredder.
Okay, so to the left of me, I've got
The shredder of guitars. The
Chris Gordon.
shred-esque, if you will, Mr. Chris Gordon.
I went the long
I
way
know,
around
no,
that
F it. I like the chiffonader of guitars.
one.
Guitar chiffonade.
You knew what I was going for.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
didn't know
calling
what
him
you're
Chris
going for.
Gordon.
Chris.
No, he's now Flash.
I'm calling him Flash.
Oh,
Only because-
defender
My Flash Gordon.
of the universe.
Only because of his name.
Flash Gordon.
an awesome song.
Just Queen.
Dude, Queen.
Say it,
Just
everyone
a
else.
man with a man's courage.
Yes, you guys were
he's
talking about movies
only a
earlier.
man.
You guys were talking about movies earlier. What a great, I know that movie,
Flash.
obviously it was,
But
tongue
it
in
was
cheek.
so hokey and tongue in cheek.
Dude.
Great.
What about when
awesome.
Bond took his hand and remember he put it in that weird
Yep,
coral
yep.
thing and there was that
Yes.
thing in there
that
and you didn't know if it was
French
going to
tickler?
spike
Yeah.
you?
It's a French tickler.
It's amazing. What a great movie.
I just got totally hypnotized by your hand motions.
That's how
So,
he
like-
got his wife. That's so
I
funny.
like
That's
to
how they got married.
imagine.
It's hilarious.
I'm like this. Missy right here. Ready? I'm like this. I'm
watching.
like this. I'm reaching. I'm
I
digging
can't
in there.
even. You know what? I can't describe his
Like,
hand motions for you and our
I'm like-
listening audience.
Like,
and I'm
he's
so glad we're
totally
not.
got,
I'm like, is that a
the
peanut?
G-spot
When-
on
I'm like-
that coral.
That is.
I'm like
good
this.
Lord.
I'm like, when did you eat corn?
You know, it's so funny because right before we started recording, Brian goes, "My daughter's in the room.
Right.
Let's tone it down." And now he's
No.
talking about Carol Channing eating corn or not.
But did
know,
I?
he is.
But I
He
haven't
is.
cursed.
I don't
But I
remember
have
He
not
having
hasn't
corn.
cursed.
Look
He
at her.
hasn't cursed.
So, look at that beautiful bean over there. Hello, Gia Sarah.
Hey, baby.
Are you gonna punch your daddy in the balls again like you did the last time you were
She
here?
did.
She shook her head. She
on
was
a
like,
podcast. She just walked up and socked me when
we were
we were
recording
recording.
episode. What was that? 3.
3.
She walks over to the middle and she goes, "Hi, Daddy!" Bam!
It was awesome.
It was.
That's your
It
lot
was
in
the
life.
most stellar thing I've
so
ever seen.
I
in my
really
life.
try to
Well
keep her
done.
around. She's my girl.
It was like
done.
Monster Squad, like Wolfman's got
She'll
nards.
keep you
It's great.
grounded.
Yeah, she's awesome.
That's a
Yes.
T-shirt.
Throw that darts.
Wolfman's got nards. That's exactly what happened.
What's a version?
What's a version?
All right,
Anyway,
moving
so
on.
again, we're here
Version.
with Chris Gordon and the lovely, beautifully talented comedian, which I
Yeah.
hate that word.
Yeah, I do too.
Comedian.
Yeah, seriously.
Comedian person.
Yeah,
So, Missy, you and I go way back.
we do. We go way back. Like,
Way back.
way back.
How way back are we talking?
I'm
Like
old.
Jake's?
You're old.
We're old. We weren't old when we
Well,
met.
we weren't as old as when we met.
No,
So, within the last
no.
15 years.
It
or
has been
so,
within the last 15 years.
For sure. Missy,
Yes.
you've been all over the place lately.
I have been kind of
Performing
have all over
and
the place.
and you know, yelling at people.
But there's
in
that.
many different ways. That was a horrible audio sound. I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, that was not me.
But you told me the other day.
We have so many things plugged into this mixer.
I
I
know
have no
it's,
idea.
it's fine. It's my wang. You told me the other day when we were doing some show prep. I asked you a question. I said, "What do you nerd out about the most?"
Yes.
And when I asked you this, it was kind of a skewed answer because apparently you were eating mashed potatoes. But the answer was
I was.
Close Encounters of the Third
Close
Kind.
Encounters of the
so
Third
good.
Kind.
So
Oh no.
I have thus prepared a few questions for a Close Encounters quiz.
This is really not going to show off my intelligence.
Do you want to do a different quiz?
Well,
Let's do this.
Let's try this, and then let me.
Because you
just-
also told me Forrest Gump.
I love Forrest Gump. I know me some
another
Forrest
thing.
Gump.
Well, life is like a box of chocolates. Let's
One
see what you're
day
going to
I
get.
woke
Let's
up.
see what
This
we're gonna
Close
get.
Encounters quiz.
One guy, Greenbow, Alabama.
Greenbow,
Yeah.
Alabama.
Yes. No,
I
but
gotta make water. All right, ready? Here we go.
I can see the whole movie of Close Encounters in my head.
In your head.
In
You know,
my
and
head.
so speaking of something
She makes
like that,
plateaus with mashed potatoes every time she eats mashed potatoes.
I do. And what's sad is I describe it and make my family watch me do it. And they won't even watch the movie,
won't
Close
watch the movie,
Encounters. No, they just find me
Like,
twisted.
here goes mom.
That's interesting. All right.
That's what she does during
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
I do. It makes me so happy. Make the little.
So here are now the questions
Just
for the Close Encounters quiz. Are you ready?
Oh God. Okay.
The Close Encounters quiz. Here we go. Close Encounters quiz with Missy Grankowitz. Timer on the clock. No, there's not.
I was
but
gonna
maybe
say,
we'll
oh,
put
God.
we'll put a sound effect for the hell of it. Ready? Here we go. The movie's protagonists, Roy Neary, pardon me, Richard Dreyfuss, and of course his wife, Jillian, whatever the hell her last name is.
Terry Garr.
No.
no, it's the woman. It's the woman from A Christmas
Oh,
Story.
not his wife. I'm sorry. The other chick in the movie. They're all in the same
Oh,
town.
the other woman.
The
The
other
girl from
chick,
A Christmas
yeah,
Story,
She's
right?
the one
Right,
from the
yeah.
Christmas Story.
They live in
Sorry.
what city? According to the movie, those two people.
I have no idea.
Are you kidding me?
Wait,
I really
Wasn't it Phoenix?
Have you ever seen the movie
Phoenix,
The Hudsucker
Arizona?
Proxy?
no.
Anybody Hudsucker Proxy? Tim
Yes,
Robbins
I saw
movie?
that.
So where is he
Save
from
me.
in that movie?
I
Muncie, Indiana. There's the
Muncie.
answer.
Muncie,
Indiana.
Indiana.
No, it's Gary, Indiana. It's
Muncie,
different.
Indiana.
All right, so strike one
Yeah,
for
I'm
Missy on the.
not like.
All right, here we go.
Strike one for me,
What
too.
is
Holy
Roy's job? Anyone? Bueller. What does Roy do
I feel like
for a
he's
living?
like
He's some sort of a
electrician?
scientist-y kind of guy.
No,
thought he
no,
was like
Brian's,
I
Brian's
thought
on
he
the
was like
better
scientist.
track
I thought he
there.
just worked for like the telephone company or something.
Well, he is a lineman for a power company.
Yeah, something.
Is
Yeah.
what Roy does in the
Yeah.
movie. All
I
right,
just remember the
Strike
shrubs and
two.
the mashed potatoes and the xylophone.
that's fine.
can see
Man, I'll tell you, a night with
I
you
can
would be
see the
awesome.
movie.
Mashed potatoes and a
Very-
xylophone.
I know, dude. I'm
Blurry.
your dream girl.
You are
I
my
am your
dream girl.
Question number 3.
Yes.
What does the Spanish-speaking man tell the researchers investigating the UFO sighting in the desert? What does he say to them?
I just remember all the birds and the cows died. I
God,
remember
you
they're
do not
all
like
dead.
this movie. So the answer to that question is the sun came out last night
Honey?
and sang to me.
Listen to me.
So should we stop these questions?
We should totally stop these questions.
you don't
We're
know
going
'em.
to bore people. No, see, I watch a movie to enjoy the movie. Unless I'm going to be in the movie, I don't have to remember all of the little.
All right,
ins
so
and
then
outs
let's
of
talk
the
about
movie.
Paranormal Activity because you love those
I
movies.
do. I do.
What is it about those movies that strikes your fancy?
Well, we're going to talk about my fancy, or are we going to talk about the movies?
Let's talk about the movies. We'll get to your fancy
Okay.
later because we
Right.
do still have to interview Chris Gordon.
Okay.
Don't worry about me. I'm digging this.
Chris Gordon was actually thinking about her fancy as well.
I'm so fancy.
Um,
Her real name's Amethyst, by the way.
Oh.
Amethyst.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
Oh no, first of all, I love the idea of
The concept.
the concept of ghosts and evil. And
Do you
all
love
of
the
those
concept
things.
of evil?
I do. I don't
Do you
want it
want
on
$1
me.
million? Like what? $11 billion.
$11 billion. And I want an inside-out cat to call my very own.
So Paranormal Activity.
Alrighty then. Remind me not to go jogging with him.
Yeah, please. So you dig
I
the
did-
concept and the
I love
vibe
the idea,
of the idea of
the
everything.
vibe of
You do
of
know it's
ghosts
not
and the
real.
person. Yes,
Oh,
I know
okay,
that it's not
okay.
real, and that's probably why I like it. Were it real, it would probably disturb.
Twere it, twere.
It real, it would probably disturb.
Of
me, but I
the
love
franchise, is there a particular one that you like more than the other?
the first is always,
course.
the best. The first.
I mean,
is
with
always
the powder and the feet.
The powder
and, like,
the feet.
That's like the
and
creepiest.
The creepy thing at the end
Oh,
of the
so-
movie with in the camera.
Yeah.
It's very intense. It was very simple. In fact, my favorite scene in that movie is just the first time the door moves.
Oh yeah, it's
on
so
the film.
subtle
it's
and
so
it's just
subtle.
it's out of like.
But that's what I like. I like that. Like that to me could happen. I like those moments. So you're like, okay,
That's
if
feasible.
That's feasible.
Yeah.
When you start adding like the actual monsters and all of that stuff, it's not real. But
For Freddy Krueger, not your
no,
thing.
not my thing. No.
Scream movies.
No,
no
Yeah,
way,
I'm not
Jose.
into like torture porn when it comes to
The film.
like,
No.
So you don't like the Saw
I only like
movies.
that in
I'm
real
not
life.
into like Saw. Well, you like torture porn, just like a little.
just a little bit.
You just
No,
like you just like S&M.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
own a ball gag. Don't lie to me.
Well, it would be nice to not have to speak.
Wouldn't it
Would be nice. If I could just like have a night where nobody needed me to say anything,
That's
would be
every night. Let's get married.
amazing. I would
Come on.
love it.
We should take a break.
Well, before we take a break, real quick, let me just plug where Missy's gonna be yesterday. She was in Milford, Delaware.
No, I
and for
wasn't.
anybody that's listening
I'm
to
not-
you,
I'm going to Milford on Saturday.
oh, that's Saturday the 6th, not
Yeah.
Saturday the 3rd.
Right.
Because
I was
the 3rd was
I was in DC
a
last
Wednesday.
night.
Let's just
So-
say the dates so people can either look forward
But
or
be,
behind.
what's
Well,
great
just
about
give 'em
this?
my website or my-
Nobody's gonna go to your show on Saturday. That's heard the show because it's not gonna come out until next week anyway.
That's fine.
So
Just
F that.
tell them that I'm doing stuff.
But
That's fine.
here's my most exciting thing about Missy here is that she's releasing her new book this month,
Yeah.
which has one of the greatest titles in the world. It's called "Thinking Inside My Box," which is out this month. So check out Missy's website at.
www.missygrinkowitz.com.
Good luck with the spelling.
I know. If you just type in Missy Gryn,
That's-
it happens.
That's got to be first in the search results.
It kind of is.
gotta
You
be.
know,
at this point.
I
have
have
a
to send
YouTube
my
channel,
daughter
too.
to a GRYN at some point.
GRYN.
and
I know
it's
what that
just-
spells.
I know what
I'm
that
dead.
means. Jesus. Do you not have to spell it? A friend of mine said that once.
Yeah.
Her new CD is also being released this month.
Yeah.
Under the same name or a different?
No, it's called 50 Shades of Earth Day.
That's great. On the 11th of December, she'll be in D.C., headlining there at Chief Ike's. And on New Year's, she'll be at the Comedy Works in Bristol, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. So there it is. Check out Missy Grankowitz. Google Missy, Gryn, and it'll pop
Right.
up. Follow her at Missy is here on Twitter.
All right, so look, okay, welcome back to dorksandforks.com. This is our holiday special. We've all been in ugly sweaters, and you know, our musical guest today is Chris Gordon. Chris kind of showed up on my radar via Facebook. Him and I, we go back. I mean, from the Grand Opera House.
Yeah.
My wife was there, and we know about you used to play with Joe Trainer. Anyway. Hey, I
love
remember
how
about
that was
this.
Many
like,
other things.
You know, this reminds me of the
used to play
story.
with a.
This reminds me of this story that we had actually discussed earlier. Dan, let's go back to that.
The great.
Intelligent, learned music that you two created. And look, well, this isn't going to be on the air. You know, I'm
It
just
will
kinda,
be. We'll cut it in.
Probably not this part.
It'll be emailed to him.
But I always just kind of wanted to get that out there, and I'm like, damn, you know, and we have Joe Trainer play a lot for like these Wisfist Bank events that we put on and stuff, and I'm always sitting there like, God damn. Oh, we had him. He was on like our first musical guest on Dorks
Okay.
and Forks too. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, why did you ever get rid of Chris Gordon? Every time I listen to him, just I mean, you know, why aren't you guys still making music? Because it was like two musicians.
Right.
That were just great working together. I mean, I'm sure there were some serious egos in the room, man.
What was his response?
Well, no. This was always just in my head.
Okay, yeah.
No, I know he's a complete maniacal egomaniac, so I would never say, "Hey," because I know because so are you, and so am I, and you know, so is Dan.
No,
and
I think
Bruce
that's
here.
what it came down to.
You know,
It was that Joe liked to be in control.
it was too much.
so did I.
There was too much ego in the room.
Yeah,
to
but
fill
you
in.
know what's funny? What I will
So in that scenario,
echo
you
what you
define
said
the
about that was
switch.
that.
Yeah,
he,
there's no.
The
He
switch.
and I-
The switch.
Hey, Chris, if you could like really kind of.
We brought out the best in each other when we played together because we had this kind of unspoken competition. So he would come up with a riff, and I'd say, "Oh yeah, I'll do this with that," and then he'll come back. He goes, "Oh, I'll do this with that." But yeah, of all the groups and musicians I've ever worked with, that the stuff I did with him was probably the most profound
Yeah,
to me.
I mean, you guys had an opportunity to shit. I feel like
Oh no,
we're gonna have to cut the show because I mean,
We'll
this is
cut
good
it.
stuff.
We'll go
Yeah, no.
back. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe this will be on because you guys had an opportunity to play with probably. So look, back in my early days, you know, I used to have a group called Wilm Film, and we made a bunch of independent films in my early 20s and stuff here. And one of our key groups was this dude Jim Neff, and he was in Nam. He was an older guy. I was like 21, you know, right in those influential years, you know.
Okay.
He was like the older guy who had money, which was good, and, you know. So there was always beer and weed around, you know. So that was good for a 21-year-old artist, you know. And so he would be like, "Hey Brian, you know, I just got some shrooms or some LSD. Do you want to do it? I haven't done this in years. Do you want to do it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, yeah. You know, I mean, it's not like I'm living at home with mom and dad anymore. It's like
Right.
He had the apartment downstairs. My girlfriend and I had an apartment upstairs." And I remember going down, and you know, I had 12-pack of Yingling, and he had his like, you know, quarter of weed, and his little bowl, you know, and he fucking laid out all these like you know, canvas and paints and magic eye books and
Oh, Magic Eye.
like no,
I love
you know,
those
magic,
things.
you know,
I know what you're talking about.
and all this like it was
Where's
lit.
Waldo?
Yeah, where's Waldo? You immediately find him when you're on LSD. You're like, there he is.
It's right
You're
there.
like, oh, there he is. He's waving
Bingo.
to me.
Oh my
He's
god,
waving to me.
he's talking to me.
But
His stripes are like a neon sign right now. They're flashing.
it's like it's moving for some reason.
Not know Waldo was so well hung.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, you see his penis before you actually see him. And
Stop talking about me.
so like anyway, this is a long way around this, but he played, you know, it started off with like Mozart and everything, and
Okay.
you know, so like this classical music, but then he just put on like Passion Play, and then Thick as a Brick, and you know, all this Tull, right?
Yeah.
So like at 21 years old, I'm like tripping phase, listening to Jethro Tull and painting paintings in this dude's apartment, you know. But you had a chance to actually play with Jethro Tull.
Yeah, we played with him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
At the
we
Grand
played
Opera
with
House.
Ian. Yeah, we played with Ian, Joe and I.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And it was what Joe happened was Joe. When we got the gig, Joe came to my apartment and we wrote a song together. It was the first time he and I wrote together in a room because we never did that. We demoed stuff separately.
Yeah.
But we wrote a song together in the room, and it was a great song. Ian thought it was too heavy, so I had written a song years prior. I had the music and the lyrics, but I didn't have any melody or anything to it. So I handed it to Joe, and immediately he was just like, "Got this, let's do it." So we recorded it. Ian loved it.
Yeah.
And we did that. We did that tune called September. Yeah, and then, you know, Joe just came in with the vocal line, and we did it, and it was great. And Ian played flute on it. There's a recording of it somewhere.
Oh, man, I would
and
love to
then
hear that.
Ian and I traded off, and it was just it was a great time.
What I heard about this story was, and you know, I didn't hear this from from Joe Trainer. So it's not like he's, but I heard that Ian kind of had a like, all right, Chris, it's enough. You can stop playing now.
Yeah. No, it's true. No, it's absolutely true. He did this. I'll show you exactly what he did. We were trading off, and I like to play.
Yeah.
And
No.
I get excited. And sometimes
Especially when you're up there with freaking Ian Anderson, Jethro Tull, man.
So I get into this kind of mode, and I'm doing my thing, and I look over at Ian, thinking I'm going to throw it back to him, and this is what he does.
Looks right at the watch.
He looks at his watch and starts tapping on it, like, come on.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, mate.
And
Come on, mate.
it was what it was. I mean, I'm not,
That's funny though.
That is so funny.
that actually happened.
I don't have
So
all day,
it's-
mate.
So
Come on.
Well, I've
he's
got
like,
to get-
he's over there stroking his flute. He's like, come on, mate. Look, I'm jacking off my
Just
flute.
get on with it. Hospitality isn't here all fucking night.
No, you're fine. F-bomb's already been dropped.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
sorry
could. You
about
could.
that.
Say
No,
it.
that was the first thing he asked me about my Tourette's. Sorry.
Well,
So it happens.
Well, cheers. What a great story
What
about
a great story
about Chris Gordon and Joe
about
Trainer.
Joe Trainer and Chris Gordon,
Jethro Tull, Ian
Just
Anderson.
amazing
We talked
stuff.
about.
Great stuff.
What a great story.
So yeah. So now that you guys have
Great
friended
story.
each other on Facebook, Missy and Chris, I think
That's me.
Oh my
there it
God.
is. There it is.
I just friended you.
Oh my God.
Awesome. Now we can start messaging each other.
Oh my gosh. This could be life-changing. Watch out! This is huge.
So Chris
Chris Gordon,
Gordon,
man, you showed up on my radar because you started. I saw you started putting out a lot of these videos, and maybe
Yes.
I caught on pretty late. But I kind of forget how I kind of ran into you on Facebook. But anyway, we kind of met up and hooked up, and I not hooked up like
I was
Missy
going to
said.
say, wait, what?
This isn't
Well,
Snapchat.
it has been cold the past couple of nights. Not gonna lie.
Maybe it's cool now.
He just
Dorks and forks and spooning.
Dorks and Forks and
Oh,
spooning.
I am a master
my.
Yeah.
at spooning.
Big or little?
So you do these instructional
Quite
videos
large.
online.
Anyway, go ahead.
You do these.
He's a super large spoon.
I mean, look. Now you're in a band called Trial by Fire.
Yes.
And it's a you do a lot of songs from primarily now.
Yngwie Malmsteen tribute band, and
Yeah.
here's the skinny behind that. It started out as a lark because I had been on the road with the Queen tribute band, which that's
Did
a
you just
legitimate
use the
thing to
word
do
lark
if you're going to
in
tribute a band.
conversation?
He's a
you go-
Renaissance man.
You go out and you tribute a band like Queen because
Yeah.
they're phenomenal.
Not the lead, not the one that plays the Queen a lot.
No,
Or,
no,
not the
no,
Great
no.
Opera House.
No,
the guy
no,
with
no,
the Scottish lead
like,
singer.
Queen, the band.
Right, no,
Wait.
but there is like there's a tribute, another tribute band that plays at the Opera House.
Oh, yeah,
But that's
yeah.
Queen.
No, this was a band that we toured the country,
Oh, cool.
and they were fly-in dates, and so we weren't necessarily
Yeah.
living on a bus together. Thank God. But the funny thing is that I was home on a break, and a friend of mine and I were sitting around having probably too many adult beverages, and we had a conversation on tribute bands, and we just started throwing out random names, and he suggested, hey, you kind of play like Yngwie, why don't you do an Yngwie tribute? And I said, no one would book that. So he said, I bet they would. So I emailed a promoter I knew. He emailed me back an hour later, and he said, not only will I book it, I have a date for you.
Wow.
And I didn't even have a band, but I said, okay, I'll do it.
Sure.
So I had 3 weeks to put together a band and a set list, and we did it.
Now, for those of our listeners who don't know Yngwie Malmsteen,
Yngwie J. Malmsteen.
so
Not
it's
to be
basically
confused with all the other Yngwie Malmsteens in the business.
Born Lars Johann Yngwie Lannebach.
yeah.
You see, he's already on the computer. This guy's amazing.
Now, a lot of typical metal. I mean, this is metal. It's almost like a lot of metal people would probably just say he was a show off, and
Right.
it's like a Trans-Siberian Orchestra, or but I feel like you could kind of say the same about you. You are a bit of a show off, but
But in a good way.
But in a
He's
good
not
way.
like an
and I
egomaniac.
only
That's
say
not how
this.
I see
No,
you.
wait a minute.
Trying to make himself feel better.
But let me
Thank
say this. If I played guitar like either one of the two, I would be a show off as
if
well.
I could play guitar.
I feel like the style of music that Yngwie Malmsteen is, it's like when you're at the height of your game, it's like you know everything about the guitar, right? When it comes
Every
to
nuance
scales,
and-
when
yeah.
it comes to chord progression, diminished notes, when it comes to styles, and it's almost like you're at the height of your game, so you could really only at that point show off because everyone else is kind of underneath you as a guitar player. Am I
No, I think that's it's the genre. I mean, the thing for me is that I started playing at 14.
It's like classical metal, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
and I
basically.
was, I grew up in a household where my parents, especially my mother, was listening to a lot of classical music. But when I first picked up the guitar was really just a tool to like write songs.
Yeah.
I want to be, I want to write songs and
Sure,
whatnot.
sure.
When I was 16, I saw Yngwie live open for AC/DC at the Spectrum, and it changed my life because I saw a guy up there who was not only technically brilliant, but he was entertaining.
Yeah.
He wasn't just standing in a corner. He was
Rocking
running
out.
around the stage,
Yeah.
throwing the guitar around. It was crazy. To address what you were saying in terms of genre, yeah, I mean he was kind of a inventor of a genre, if you will. But in terms of all those styles and whatnot, no, I mean, I spent some years playing jazz, country, and all that stuff. And you know what? The musicians that I've met in my life are just so amazing, and it humbles me to no end. So no, I mean, I'm not even close to scratching the surface of what a guitar player could do. Yngwie, his influence on me was the passion, like just that, as my dad used to say, when he would listen to me play, he said, there's I don't know, maybe there's an anger there or something. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just this passion to.
It's just an outlet.
Yeah, it's an outlet, and it's just a genre.
Do you feel better doing that than anything else?
Yeah.
That kind. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
Well, most things.
Yes.
but most things.
Almost.
But yeah, there's always that one thing.
Sure.
But in general, there's just something about just that, and yeah, the classical, I mean, listening to Paganini and listening to a lot of violinists, that there's just something very cool about that.
Chris, you've actually prepared a special Christmas gift for our listeners, I understand.
Yeah, I did, and you know what? I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm going to do my
I've
best.
had 9
he
too
did
many
about
beers.
as much show prep as we did.
Gia's rocking out right now. She's got some devil horns going, hands wise. She's ready to rock and roll.
So we asked you if you could come in and play us a little holiday medley.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes, I'm.
me hit
afraid I'm
Play
gonna
over
be.
here. Are you ready? Here we go.
If we have to do it twice, we could do it twice.
Well, okay, good.
I would also
Might need
like to
to.
do it twice.
Oh shit!
Record.
She likes to do it
She
again.
loves to do it more than twice.
Can we do that
honestly.
again?
Again and again.
It's 6 minutes.
Yeah, no.
That's
please,
it.
By all means.
That's all I
Yeah,
need
that's-
sometimes.
Yeah,
Six
we might
minutes.
actually turn this into like a
It's like
YouTube extra.
I
Yeah,
could do 6 minutes.
You can do 6
I can
minutes.
do 6 minutes.
at least.
I can do 12.
Oh!
That's asking a
Do
lot.
I hear 14? Do I hear
Yeah.
15?
What do
Yeah,
you
but
think?
she's not
That sounds
hyper
like high
fertile
maintenance.
right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Gordon.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Everyone.
Oh, hold on. Wait. Oh, my
Next
goodness,
track.
man. Woo.
Oh God, here we go again.
That's
Oh,
it. It's all
man.
starting all over again. Wow. Chris Gordon, ladies and gentlemen.
That's my flash.
Yeah, well, now we'll do it for real,
Yeah.
right? No, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic,
And
sir.
you know, to tell you the truth, that's our show.
That's it. Happy Christmas. Oh, I'm spitting on
Yeah.
people. Happy Christmas to everybody.
Happy
Merry
everything.
Kwanzaa. You know,
Yeah. I think we'll probably
The whole
go
nine
into
yards.
when we're in post production. We'll lay
We'll
down
take care
all
of it.
our weird things that we have to say.
yeah.
For we had a blast tonight. Chris Gordon, you nailed it. If you don't mind, maybe we'll cut that part out. We have to take your picture still. We'll put something out on YouTube and blast it out of just that holiday anthem.
Craziness.
Here he goes. He wants to play again.
No, it's all good.
He's got the itch now.
He's ready. He just warmed up.
I just warmed up.
Now you're like, all right, let's rock out.
He's ready to go again. So, Missy,
Man.
thank you so much. Actually, where can we find you, Missy? What's going on?
Well,
Yeah,
Besides
where
everything
can I
that
find you?
mentioned
besides the
You two are gonna do it.
They're so good at doing
I
it.
You
know.
guys are gonna do it.
so destined for each other.
You're gonna put on like the Poison record, and then you're
Oh,
just
yeah.
gonna do
Oh
it.
yeah, we're just gonna be a massive hair, like
awesome.
everywhere.
I'm telling you, that kid, if you guys made
Oh, yeah,
babies, it would be
it would be a gorgeous little.
It would be a little rock
the
star.
hair on
A
that
little
kid.
rock star.
Absolutely.
Oh boy.
No, like you can find me
Sure. Where can we find you?
online.
like in real online. You can find me online.
Besides in the back of Chris's Scion.
Besides in the back of
That's got to be very uncomfortable. That is a small car.
It's a loner.
Yeah.
he can
No,
just bend
I
me
was
over the
actually
back
I
of
was
it.
actually at surprise. I was at a liquor store the other day. Go
But
figure.
there's a shocker.
And I walk out. I get out of the car, and a guy in the parking lot stops and says to me, "Are you kidding? Is that a clown car?" 6'1" guy gets out. He's like, "You got to be kidding me!"
no,
Especially you're wearing like a half van brace. I mean, you should be riding up on a fucking horse, really.
That's for the carpool. But
that's the carpal stuff, yeah.
Oh,
But that's
really?
the coolest
That's a
part
good
of-
excuse to wear a
See,
van brace.
Isn't getting old great?
You're like,
Isn't that? I mean,
yeah.
like I know.
Oh,
it's a
I'm gonna pair.
aging
Oh man,
well,
I'm
yeah.
gonna like. Oh man, I've got this like bum knee,
But
so I'm
he's
gonna
got,
wear
like, I want a leather lace-up corset for
oh
my
yeah,
knee.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I wasn't going to wear
I'm gonna put on some medieval
no,
armor.
That's very cool.
That's the way to do it, man. If you're
So-
going to do it.
That is
Wow.
very cool. I need one.
So
of
you've
those for my knee.
sacrificed your own health to rock.
To rock out!
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Well, happy holidays from the
Yeah.
Dorks and
Happy
Forks
holidays.
So, wait,
gang.
did we cover where we
Missy,
can find
we're
you?
going to find you at, again,
Did we
Online.
say it?
Oh, online. That's just like-
Facebook.com/
yes, You can find me on www.missygrinkowitz.com.
Just Google Missy.
Just Google Missy
with a Y,
G-R-Y-N-K.
not Missy with an I.
And Messy.
Bessie.
Messy.
Excellent.
You know,
I have a
went to-
YouTube channel. You can
Missy.
find me on iTunes. You can find me on
Yeah.
Pandora. I have a Pandora station.
And let us know.
Find you.
Wow, you have a Pandora station.
Mm-hmm.
Fancy.
Yeah,
all
I was
that.
kind of happy.
Hey, let us know if you
Yeah.
ever want to record a podcast. We'll give you your own show.
Your own show. The Missy
your own
Grankowitz
show.
show.
That could be so much fun.
We can make
Yeah.
that happen.
Yeah, we can totally
really?
make that happen.
Okay,
yeah.
that's very
Yeah,
cool.
if you, yeah.
It's all that stuff.
Okay.
And likewise, Chris Gordon.
Just like me. People just
For
like
viewers
me.
like you.
For
And
viewers
Chris
like
Gordon,
me.
we can find you online and on stage
Yeah.
at...
Well, I'm at www. Do you say that anymore? You don't have to say that anymore.
I was
You don't-
going to
no,
say.
I
I know.
necessary.
I'm old.
Triple Dubs, what?
ChrisGordonAcademy.com.
Chris Gordon
Chris
Academy.
Gordon.
Music
Academy.com.
Academy. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. ChrisGordonMusicAcademy.com.
And then your Facebook.
Gordon,
Yes.
not A-N.
No.
And your Facebook.
It's
And your
Facebook.com.
Facebook. It's just Chris Gordon.
Yep.
And YouTube.
Chris, same thing.
Chris Gordon.
Chris
Yeah,
Gordon.
right on.
Yeah, I got a ton of videos out there.
Plug away, sweetheart.
Plug
That's
away,
what we're
plug
here
away.
for.
I'm super excited. The movie Days of Power that I got to feature in
Nice.
we're going to have a special sneak preview on January 31st, and then it's scheduled for release in April of 2015.
Oh, cool.
I'm really excited.
And the name of the
about
movie
that.
one more time is?
Days of Power.
And a website for that?
of Power.
Daysofpower.com.
Very cool.
And I,
Actors or actresses in it?
well, Eric Roberts is in it.
Oh, one of my favorite
Yes.
celebrity
Is this a
siblings.
Lifetime movie?
Yeah, no. No, what I
Is it a sci-fi movie?
it's a thriller. It's a thriller, and I'm super excited about it. But what I love about it, it's a thriller, but the ultimate purpose is to raise money for no-kill animal shelters.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
So there's
huge
a lot of
animal.
not
You
killing
always have to
animals in the
have,
movie.
but I'm a
like, a
bad guy
charity
in the
behind it.
movie, and it's very
no.
cool. Yeah.
because you have
yeah,
large
yeah, yeah,
breasts.
yeah. What
They're like,
it's
put the
true.
big-titted blonde girl as a bad
You know,
guy.
it was weird when I saw some of the sizzle reels. I was like, "Wow, I really am all boobs."
Yeah.
Yeah,
And hair.
And you can also find
boobs
Missy
and
at
hair.
and hair.
allboobs.com.
All
So,
boobs.
boobs
All
and hair.
boobsallday.com.
I'm already there. Look, check it out. I got the app. I downloaded the app. This is awesome.
And Chris Gordon, what gig coming up?
We'll be at JB McGinnis on the
19th,
13th.
13th.
Yeah, which
of December,
of December.
which would probably be the release date of
the
if
show,
and
just-
around
yeah.
the show.
Today.
Yeah, we'll be out.
Tonight.
Quote, today, be there. Check us
Be
out.
there.
This will come
Yes.
out about next week.
Yeah, sometime in the mid-week of December.
The
And actually, I just got a
December.
text. Interestingly enough, I will be using one of Ingve's actual guitars
Get
on
out.
the
No
gig.
way.
Yeah. I just got a
Nice.
text that it came through. So
Fantastic.
I will
Oh,
be
that's
That
exciting.
is really
donning one of my
exciting.
heroes' guitars, and I need a moment.
That is very,
do you
very
need a-
cool.
do
Do you want to?
Washcloth?
Okay, Chris Gordon, you want to play us out with a little Ingsve?
Oh man, I wish I brought some of that with me.
I didn't even have to finish my sentence. He was like, "Yep, done."
Hey, happy Christmas.
Okay,
Merry
ladies and
Kwanzaa.
gentlemen, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
it
I
is.
am Brian Wild,
And I'm Dan Sanchez.
and that's Missy. I'm not even Missy G.
Grankowitz.
Missy
Grankowitz.
G.
Grankowitz.
Missy Grankowitz.
We have Missy Grankowitz, Dan Sanchez, Brian Wild for dorksandforks.com. Happy holidays, everybody.